Let's go, son.
Yep.
Let's go.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so very last minute addition to And That's Why We're Not Together is, what's your last name?
Oh my god, am I giving my government name?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is Sadhbh, my next door neighbour, and she's filling in for Hannah. So Hannah, so I really appreciate that. And we're very lucky to have Sadhbh because you thought you were going to have your final exam today in UCD, for those people who aren't...
Why am I paranoid about people knowing this information?
knowing information about your exam, doing your exam.
My full name.
Okay, don't. Well, you don't. Yeah, I know, because people are very... Well, you're right.
I'm just so stunning and gorgeous.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of creepy dudes walking around town, me being one of them. But...
That's how I got here.
Could that water bottle literally be any bigger? Okay, so that's the crack. So you thought it was your final exam today, didn't you?
Yeah.
How did you get the dates wrong?
I didn't pay attention to what the lecturer said because I had to choose a different day.
And you, who's that? Is that me or you? Sorry, I'm so easily distracted.
What are we even talking about?
Don't worry about what we're not or what we're... David, be very, very charming and nice. Thank you so much, Sadhbh, for doing this. Okay. How long have you been? How long have you been living on?
A year.
Is it a year?
Year and a half.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so we can't use your second step. Why?
I don't know why. I'm really protective over people knowing my full name for some reason.
Okay, so let's.
Well, you don't go by your surname either.
No, I changed my name from David Andrews because my dad was a politician back in the day, and I didn't want to be.
Hide your nepotism.
Yeah. What do you think I've got because of my dad being in politics? I left Ireland. I wanted to get away from the place. I hated Ireland when I was your age.
But would you have been able to have nepotism connections?
I don't know, but whatever advantage or privilege I may have had access to, I certainly was very self-destructive and became an alcoholic. Thank you very much. Stopped drinking in 2003. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure if your dad had connections to some area that you wanted to get into, you'd get an introduction. But you'd have to be good at whatever that thing was to have a sustainable career.
But as in, I don't know, I'm not saying this for you, but as in, there's so many people that have nepotism.
Yeah. That's your favourite phrase, nepotism.
No, that's a thing. Have you not heard about this? A nepo baby.
Have you heard about nepotism, Daniel?
Yeah, of course.
Well, no, as in that's become a big thing with a lot of people being oh, well, they're a nepo baby.
Well, I guess, if you're working really hard and creating wealth for yourself and you've got to a position in life where you can help your children. I mean, if I could, well, I suppose I've given Daniel this job as producer of the
Nepo baby.
But, when you have kids, if you can help them out.
Of course, yeah. Of course you do that. But as in...
Yeah, I wouldn't...
The issue with people have with nepotism babies or nepo babies is that it's they'll be oh, I work really hard, but they won't recognise how they got there in the first place.
Okay, so my brother Barry Andrews is an MEP. So if there's anybody's a nepo...
Oh, him, for sure.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's Fianna Fáil. They're all this big old fucking Stockholm Syndrome buzz going on.
Yeah, Fianna Fáil. What do you think of politicians? Do you like them? Do you have any favourites? Do you like Michael D. Higgins, the president?
I like Michael D. Higgins. I like Holly Cairns.
Michael D. Higgins on a moonlit night on the back of an Irish wolfhound, giving free blowjobs. That's a terrible thing to say, and I regret it. Okay. So, Daniel, can you introduce the podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to And That's Why We're Not Together, starring David McSavage and Sadhbh.
And my young son, Prince Daniel, Nepo baby.
Yes.
Nepo. Daniel, you're a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Why did you do that to me?
You're a beautiful... Okay, you're a... Nepotism, narcissism. What's the other tisms? Autism, nepotism. What's when you have sex with dead people? narcolepsy. No, that's sleeping. No, what's
Necrophilia?
Necrophilias. Okay. Do you know what this is, Sadhbh?
No.
Do you know what TV show it's from?
Doctor Who. Actually, but I don't know what it's called.
So, for instance, we don't really prepare for this podcast, and I don't have lots of things, and I'm not well read, I'm not highly opinionated, but sometimes I like podcasts, Daniel. Like sometimes I listen to Howard Stern, and there's this guy that goes on Howard Stern, but he's dead now, God love him. But anyway, his name was Eric, the actor. And he's so boring, right?
It's like stage name Eric the actor.
Yeah, but he's so boring. I love it. Gets me to sleep really quickly because he avoids anything
like,
of interest with the skill of a fucking ninja. There's certain people, and so I put
Eric or Howard Stern.
No, Eric. When he's interviewing this guy, Eric. He's so deadly boring. It's just, I find it super relaxing just to. So hopefully maybe that's why people might tune into this podcast, Like it doesn't matter if it's boring or if it's interesting, we will find an audience.
Who's your main demographic?
Well, not Gen Z. What are you, Gen
Z, yeah.
Is it hard for you to, look, what's it like being Gen Z? Do you think we're, like, older people are just fucking idiots?
No, but like, as in... Of course, every generation looks at like the previous generation is like, oh, they're so like cringe or whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck, but
they do, don't they?
I don't know. Like, there's obviously.
How is it okay to ask you how old you are?
No.
Jesus Christ.
That's also a secret. No, I'm 23.
Right. So that's so funny. Like, so 23 years ago, Daniel, 2002. So I've had this. You see, that's the thing. You're born into this world and what is totally normal and acceptable to you regarding social issues, like I feel like I have to catch up to.
No, but I think you're quite good in terms of like your views on things. Like, I don't think like there's a lot of people of an older generation that just have no. That's the issue I would have. They don't have any like want to learn about like these new concepts or anything.
Yeah.
Or there's a willful ignorance there, you know what I mean? Because it's about like they don't actually want to change their views, and that's an issue I would have. But like I think people get more conservative the older they get anyway.
Yeah, they definitely do. Like sometimes if I'm being, is the right word, lecture. Huh?
Can I vape?
Yeah. Sometimes if I'm being lectured to, even if the younger person is right or something, I just find it difficult to listen to because, like, I mean, they haven't lived in the society for 30 or 40 years, and what that person is saying just wouldn't have made any sense 20 or 30 years ago. Like, even like I was talking to another neighbor the other night, and we were talking about gender versus what sex or something like that. And I kind of get it. I get it, and then sometimes I forget it. I mean, what do you? But for you, that would be just a totally normal thing. There's no confusion, But you know what I'm saying?
The thing is, like, I'm also like a culture, so like I would have had like quite, in the sense that like I would have grown up with very traditional views and values in a lot of ways as well. But it's like, if you can come from that background and change your views.
Yeah.
Not that I came from like a very conservative family or anything, but as in like that would have been a lot more commonplace in where I'm from compared to here.
Isn't it so funny, Sadhbh, like 30 years from now when you're in your 50s and what will be the thing that you will be struggling to catch up with societally? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It will be something. Like, there's always a space in people's head for something absolute and this new thing and this kind of, we've evolved into this new space and we're on the right side of history. I think I'm in a lot of ways I'm on the wrong side of history, but at least I'm self-aware and I acknowledge it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You are self-aware. I feel like you're like a lot of, like, in terms of like people I would like speak to of your age, like say like my parents or something. Like, say I'd have a conversation with my dad. Like, I'm not trying to like bash my dad or anything, but like he would be less open-minded to how I view things compared to his own view, and that can be frustrating. But it's interesting that you said that it's like if a younger person lectures you, you feel as though that like they don't understand what it's like because they haven't had enough life experience. So that's like, I completely understand that, but I also think that you need to be self-aware of yourself in terms of your own ego and feeling threatened. Like, is
Oh,
this,
100%.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. How would you define femininity? Is there or masculinity?
Like, I don't know, because like that's gender roles, and I don't think
That's, you see, I think that's the conversation we were getting
Yeah.
into. So, okay, sorry, what does that mean, gender? Oh, roles. So, yeah. So
like obviously we all play into gender roles depending on how one identifies or how they're, even if they don't necessarily feel, I'd imagine, like I haven't like experienced like gender dysphoria or whatever, but
okay, right. Yeah, you see, so masculinity, it's kind of a sort of nebulous kind of thing, and it can be, you can be very feminine
you
and be
can't,
masculine.
you can't necessarily say that, because we've all been, like, we live in a society, like we've all been conditioned to perform a masculinity or a femininity. So depending on how people perceive you, you perform your version of that.
Okay, Daniel,
Yes.
what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Feminism.
Well, but is there not, so there's no definite definition of masculinity or femininity?
Well,
Because it's changing all the time. So it's a constructed thing where it can sort of squash people down. If your femininity means, passive and quiet, and is that what you think of it? Or because you're thinking,
I wouldn't think of it that way personally. I would never want that to be something I play into, but I know that a lot of women feel that pressure, and then it depends on the culture as well that you're within. Like even now, there's like this whole like trad wife thing, kind of like gaining popularity.
oh, making a resurgence.
Which is like there's literally like, it's like weird to see on social media because it's like reframed into a way that is, they like make it out that it's empowering, but it's like it's almost like romanticized. And I like, obviously I would, like, don't get me wrong, I'd fucking love not to have to work, but I don't want that like as in to make it as in like, oh, you should do this, like you should do whatever you want, whatever that version of like
So they're playing
embodiment is.
they're playing that role. So maybe it started off as something ironic and then it became, but for instance, okay, what attracts you, like, so you, a guy, what do you find attractive about a guy?
Nothing.
But like, in other words, what I would find attractive about a woman.
Why would a man be there?
No, but what I'm trying to say is, like, there are certain qualities that I would define as feminine. Feminine. Daniel, do you know what I mean? Like, just the shape of the way they talk, the subtlety, the understatedness. There's just a whole kind of mixture of things that are
Maybe you have
super.
mommy issues.
Which issues?
Mommy issues.
I've got a box of issues. I'm so full of issues. Like, the way women have daddy issues, I think I have daughter issues. Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry, Daniel. But look, but what I'm trying to say is,
He wants you to transition.
he wants you to transition.
No.
But what I'm just trying to get at, like, when you see a guy and you're very attracted to him, what are those specific things that tick boxes in your mind? And I guess what I'm getting at is, would they not be masculine attributes?
No, not for me personally. I wouldn't care about like anything so much to do with looks. In saying that though, I do have a particular type and my friends do slag me for that. But in terms, it's a lot more for me about like their confidence and not giving a fuck like about like how people perceive
Okay, so
them.
that's one aspect of it, but that could be for women as well, right?
Yeah.
But
I like that. It's like, I think you're attracted to things that you want to be yourself.
Oh, very good. Is
in
that
a way,
right, Daniel?
like, because I value that in myself, in the sense that I like when I don't feel judged, or I feel very like when I feel like I'm in the flow of being outgoing and stuff, and I like that in a man as well, where they can just be fully themselves.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you want a guy that's like you want a male
Yeah,
version
I'm
of
just
yourself.
attracted to myself, basically.
But I mean, you wouldn't be attracted to a guy who's like, "Hi, how you doing?
I don't know. Like,
Hi, Sive. My name's Robert.
Like, obviously, if someone has like a weird voice, you're gonna be like,
yeah, but look at me. I'm a really good bloke. I've really good solid values.
yeah, no,
What
I'm
is
not
it?
attracted to you. If a man
Because-
says they're a good bloke, they're never a good bloke.
I'm a bad little
You
bloke.
don't have to justify it. I'm on a whole misandry buzz lately, so
Oh, a misandry buzz. Misandry.
yeah.
So, yeah. What were you saying before Sive came in? You were doing this thing about movies, Daniel.
Oh yeah, like
Stop checking your phone, for fuck's sake. Be present,
I'm
for
trying
Christ's sake.
to order weed right now. You have to.
You're
cut
trying
that
to
out,
order
though.
what?
You have to cut that out. Weed.
Can I cut that out?
is it a Deliveroo kind of service?
Yeah, you know the guy.
Wait a second. Is it?
They're Brazilian or something.
Yeah, they
Where does-
dress in my parents are so anti-weed, so if they see this,
Well,
like,
no. Listen, I think the more fucking above
So
board.
are my parents.
Well, the more above board it is, the better it is. So you know exactly the source of the stuff and the strength of the stuff.
Oh, that's not what's going on. It's just that
What's not going on?
So their runners are well, I don't want to out them either because they're
Oh, and out them.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sive? If you know about them, do you don't think that they
Well,
know about them?
probably, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody knows. But anyway, what do you mean? That's not what's going on. What are you talking about? Look, it's amazing, isn't it? Like the way things have changed. You know, you can just sit here in the middle of a conversation and I'd like a bit of fucking Lebanese, whatever, weed.
Do you think weed should be legalized?
Absolutely, completely.
that's good.
I think
My parents
everything.
are so
No,
weird.
because I think if it's underhanded and behind, you know, then that sort of fuels the criminality of the thing or the dangers
And
of.
the strains then.
And the strains.
Because everyone's like HHC has become this huge thing.
What's
it's like,
HHC?
so it's basically like, so it's like, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a different form of a cannabinoid, I think. So like THC is what's in weed. HHC is basically a loophole so that it can be sold.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So
like
it's
in
going
vape
on.
shops and
Yeah.
stuff. But those HHCs actually, like, I swear to God, I thought I was going to have a psychotic episode of one of them before.
Yeah, but Sive, you know, here's the thing. Some people have kind of really almost like monkey blood or something. I don't know if that's the correct way to describe it. And they seem to be impervious to any kind of drug that you take. And then people like you see that person who you look up to and you think, oh, I want to do that. And then, but you don't know what your brain chemistry is. So, like Daniel used to smoke really fucking heavy. Daniel, go on. Tell them now.
Lecture.
Every time I talk about this, I think about that great documentary in, what was it? Fuck's
Woodstock?
sake. Woodstock. Jesus, fuck me in the face. And there was a scene where there was a girl, in a little house, and there was a fence, and her parents were outside. My daughter's in there right now, goddammit. She's stoned out of her head. And you just see this girl, popping out of the window going, like making fun of her parents. It was very funny, Sive. Okay, let's move on. Daniel, what kind of weed were you smoking? I'm trying to communicate to the young people, but nobody. There's about 2 young people who are going to watch this anyway.
I should teach you young people slang or Gen Z slang.
Gen Z slang. It's very good that Sive actually showed up because Gen Zs normally hate older people.
Yeah, I hate you.
Okay, go on, Daniel. Talk about the Marijuana.
Well,
because you were smoking stuff. I remember seeing you, and you're in some state of disrepair, shall we say? Like,
well, you can still get addicted to weed. I don't think people will be like, "Oh, it's non-addictive." You can still get addicted to it.
But how the strength of some of the stuff you were smoking, Daniel?
Yeah, it was strong because probably I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was altered with something, or it could have been skunk or something like that.
What's skunk?
Psychotropic,
No,
stuff.
it's just really strong weed that kind of makes you pass out almost instantly, yeah.
See, for me, I used to get really paranoid with smoking weed when I first kind of started smoking weed when I was a teenager. And then I was like, oh, I don't think this is good for me. And then anytime I tried, I'd do it casually or whatever. But lately, which is, I don't know why, lately I found I feel a lot more in my body when I smoke weed. And I think it's
in the couch.
I think it's as in I feel more present now when I smoke weed, whereas I used to be non-verbal. And I think like it, because I've like looked into it and it can really help with ADHD, but it depends also like it does depend still on how much you smoke and this type of strain as well.
Right. So and the strains are?
Well, like say if you're like, a lot of people get less paranoid with indica versus sativas. Like
I'd really listen, the reason I stopped smoking weed was I'd get panic attacks on the fucking things. But maybe I was smoking too much of it. But that was back in the 80s, man. It's so that's what I was saying.
It's gotten stronger since even.
Well, indica sound, but you know, for me to get a matchstick of hash resin, I'd have to drive into town, go to a place on the Quays, a pub that's closed down now called the Jet Foil, and you'd walk in, you go into the Jacks, give a guy £10, and get a little thing wrapped in tin foil.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you just get stoned, man, and listen to Kanye West.
Well, for me, it's like the lesser of evils, like in terms of like.
So indica, there's indica, sativa.
I'm not like well versed that much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
like,
mainly indica and sativa. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they all have like weird.
But there's hybrids as well.
Yeah.
So you found a particular strain that suits your brain chemistry.
Yeah. Well, not that I particularly. I think my tolerance has just changed a bit because I used to have to be a lot more particular, but now not so much. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a lot of people like. The thing is, like, it's still a substance at the end of the day, so I don't like to be like, oh, this is normal to smoke every day. Like, I would smoke on occasion, or if I'm like, okay, like, I think you still need to be, like, conscious of, like, your consumption of anything, really.
Yeah. And you're working out, you do your fitness?
Yeah, like, I do everything.
What do you do?
I feel like I function a lot better when I smoke. That's why I would smoke.
Shit, I wish I could function a lot better, Daniel. What exercises are you doing?
Pilates. I went to hot Pilates. That was really good.
And is it mostly women in the classrooms?
Yeah, sometimes there's like the odd man there.
Yeah, the odd man.
Unfortunately.
The odd man.
Ew.
No, it's actually fun when there's a man there because a lot of men think Pilates is like a girl thing and that it's not hard, and then they're like dying.
Oh, but even yoga, just holding those positions and you can feel your arms shaking.
Well, yoga is a lot more of a mixed bag. I think Pilates is a lot more like.
It's a lot more of a mixed bag. A mixed bag of tricks. Pilates. So how would you, because I haven't even been curious enough to look up what it is. Pilates. Just don't look at your phone. Okay.
What if my guy comes?
Your guy? Oh, your guy.
No.
Oh, your guy. Yeah, your guy. I know.
My delivery guy.
Yeah. How soon does it come?
I don't know. That's the thing. They always just like randomly will be like, I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should talk about this. I was going on a few dates. Wait. But right, look. Okay, so and it was the fifth date, and we hadn't caught the fish. We hadn't tipped toe through the. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm just being like my dad when he talked about sex. He'd go la 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 la.
My mom used to stand in front of the TV.
Oh yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
But it fucked us up. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Now, but the thing is, anyway, fifth date, and I hadn't kissed this other party. Mm-hmm. So I was sitting having dinner, and I clumsily just said, "Look, I find you really, I really, really fancy you." I said, and then she looked at me and she said, "Oh, do you? Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't feel the same way for you." And I was just like, and then I kind of thought, "Oh, that's relief or something." Or it's so bad, isn't it?
No.
It's so bad when you're into someone and you express
Why
that you're
did she
into
go on so many dates?
Well,
with
it's
you,
I'm just saying it's so
that's
bad.
What I was saying, yeah.
It's so bad when you're into someone. Yeah, you seem very happy now.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen you happier. It's funny, isn't it? Other people's misery. It's like it's like a fireplace. You just warm your hands,
I know.
and it's just like, oh, I'm floating. But anyway, it's so horrible, Sadhbh, when you're really into someone. And and you think that the attraction you have for them must spill over, and they must no, it doesn't work like that. But I was going out with this girl, and all the time we were on these dates, I think she was sort of sitting on the fence thinking, am I into him? And then I'm looking at her going, I'm not sure, is she into me? So it was like this sort of standoff. But I think, you know, like Hannah was giving me advice. She said, you should have just leaned in and kissed her or something. And then if she pushed you away, then you'd know.
No, I think you were better off saying what you did. Like, because then you didn't get like actually physically rejected.
Oh yeah, would that be more
Well,
awkward?
I don't, like, obviously you get over it, but like it's.
Have you ever done that with a guy and he's physically rejected you?
Oh, I physically rejected him.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, no.
And how long did? No, excuse me.
I was just like, no.
And how long did you know the guy?
This was like the second time I met him.
Oh right.
Yeah. So I was like, no, what the fuck are you doing? Like.
Well, what do you mean? What the fuck is he doing? You knew what he was doing.
Well, this was your man.
Well, you don't have to say anything.
But no, this was my how do I phrase this without revealing too much?
Well, you don't have to say any. You don't have to say anything about anybody. You just so you know. And was it an appropriate moment? Did he mistime it?
No, this was when I was sugar babying. But I can't
say
that publicly. That
can
was
we?
your man.
Okay. Can we talk about this? Right. Can we talk? And we'll cut this out. Can we talk? Actually, can we talk about seeking arrangements?
Yeah, but what if my parents see this? They don't know.
Well, they won't see it, or even if they do, like you're an autonomous human being, and mom and dad, you know,
give me money.
Yeah. So there's a website called Seeking Arrangements, right? Daniel, do you know about this?
Yeah. I think we talked.
Oh, we
about
talked
it.
about it. We did.
Before.
We talked about. Oh, and did we talk about? We mentioned our neighbour.
Yeah. No, you said a mutual friend.
So this is kind of exciting. You're amazing. Anyway, so
reveal.
So you go on this Seeking Arrangements website, and can you describe it?
It's. I don't know how you would describe it because it's like a sugar babying service, but I don't know, like.
So what? So you go on it and just look at the profiles,
it's
and
just
then
like
you just
a dating app, basically.
and then you send them your pictures, and then they contact you and say, "Let's meet up for this, that, and the other."
Yeah.
And then do you agree with how much is going to be exchanged before you meet up?
It depends. See, I wasn't really like I didn't meet many people on it though, so I don't know what it's like in general. Like I just know my own experience.
So the idea is that it's not a sexual thing.
It's not meant to be,
right.
But a lot of people treat it like that. Like a lot of the people on it do treat it like that.
Look, I mean, you know, if I am an older man, and if I had disposable, what do you think about it, Daniel? So I'm an older guy.
Yeah,
I'm attracted to younger women. Like who isn't? You know. Yeah, but the problem is, okay, go on.
It's a niche market, isn't it? Yeah.
How do you mean?
Well, I don't know. It's just like, you know, there's a need for it for some people, and I guess.
Daniel, you don't sound like you have a very strong opinion. You're so lovely. You're such a beautiful person. You're so gentle with stuff.
I'm just my brain's a bit mushy after 3 days of work.
Oh, Daniel was extra on a movie with Jessica Chastain, who I was in a film with in 2020. And then I actually messaged Jessica Chastain on my Instagram and said, "Hey, my son was working as an extra on your film," and she never replied to the voice message. So I'm going to unfollow Jessica Chastain. There you heard it here first.
Your ego.
It's bruised. I'd feel in a very weak position. You know what I mean? No, I mean Jessica Chastain. I mean, you know, you're a good actor, but you know, ultimately you're an actor.
Jessica Chastain, if you're seeing this.
But so seeking arrangements. I mean, is there a positive about it? Is there something good about it?
See, the thing is, I find it very emotionally draining because for me, like, I think there is a positive about it if you're actually attracted to someone, like because the whole premise is you're supposed to be having a relationship with someone, but you're also like they're looking after you. Like that's the whole. My understanding of a sugar baby is that they just want to look after you while having a relationship with you.
A sexual relationship.
Well, yeah, that's. But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's not a sexual relationship. But for me, like because I was like going on a date with this man, but I wasn't attracted to him. I just felt like I just didn't like it because I was like, I clearly don't actually care about you or what you're actually talking about, and I have to pretend that I do.
It's so awful.
So
and guys are so horny and so desperate for the fucking ride. They'd swim through a river of shit with their mouth open. And you could send all kinds of signals and signs as a woman, and a guy will think, oh, that's just her personality. You know what I mean? And I have been that soldier.
Well, like, yeah, I don't know.
So you found draining because you're trying to focus in, and he might as well be going wow 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 wow.
Well, I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think it's like, if there is an Anthony Bourdain lookalike, then great, I would do it again. Like, but because
Anthony Bourdain wouldn't need to go on those things.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And he's dead. Sorry.
Why did you remind me?
Oh yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know, like, because the guy that I had been seeing was basically using it as a dating app. That's what he had kind of said to me. Like, that was his way. Like, he was looking for a relationship.
Can we cut this? I just want to cut this bit out, right? Yeah, sorry.
My issue with that was, why are you looking for a relationship based on the premise of paying someone? Because he said, oh, I didn't go on any of the dating apps, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, but, like, why is your initial thing to try and date someone is to pay them? Like, fair enough if it's a sugar babying arrangement, that's fair. But if you're actually looking for like a relationship, I'm a bit confused about that.
Well, is his point of view that he's in his late 50s, 60s, and he knows that there's no way he could hook up with a woman of your age, and so that therefore it would have to be, he'd have to pay for the privilege, like it's a value, you know.
Yeah, but then
what do they call it? A monetary exchange or a...
But like, I just don't... How can you trust the integrity of the other person actually being interested in you then? Is the thing that I don't understand.
Well, he knows... Oh, I see. Okay, of course, yeah. Well, yeah.
If you that's what you're looking for rather than just a sugar baby, if you're looking for a relationship, like, that's your like now girlfriend or whatever, or your partner, like...
Well, he knows that you're not interested in him, or and therefore he has to pay for the privilege of hanging out. But
the way that he explained it to me was as if he was dating. So then it's like,
he explained to you
the way that his understanding of it was, basically, from my interpretation, was that like, oh, this is a dating app for him kind of thing, rather than, it's not like. Maybe it's just my issue of like having a very clear definition of like the difference. Well,
it's interesting. I think, we talk about the male ego. I think guys are very unaware of how old they might look or how unattractive they are. It's almost like, they're looking at a woman and they find the woman attractive. But they just, I don't know, they just don't think they just think they're attractive or something. I don't know.
But it begs the question, like, what are they actually interested in? Because like, if I'm dating someone, I want them to actually like fully want me as a person, rather than like there being something else going on that they're dating me for.
I think it's super simple. Older guys, we want access to young skin.
Ew, David.
Isn't it, Daniel?
Freaking gross.
Yeah.
Well, because old skin is like it's all flabby and
you have some weird skin thing. Like, since you started getting like facials, you're now like obsessed with skin.
I'm just trying to like. So you're.
How dare you?
I'm gonna have to really edit the fuck out of this. But like, let's get real about it. An older man. A young woman shouldn't be attracted to an older man. And the older man knows that, right? Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he thinks because he's wealthy and he's reached a position, of wealth, and that. But then some young women are attracted to that or whatever, and he's in a position to pay. He's in a position to pay for everything, and the girl likes that, I guess. But you're saying, like, from his point of view, does he not know that that's the only reason she's hanging out with him? And so would that not be a turn off for him? No, I guess, because he's got access to this young, tight body. Well, I mean, come on. I mean, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah, but I don't know, like, I just think like the premise of like an actual relationship though, like companionship, like not just like sex, you know what I mean?
Well, who says that? Anyway, I mean, it's clearly,
So, but this is why I'm like, as in, I'm so like, gone off the idea of dating men lately is because it's literally like I feel like they just have an idea like my experience of dating men, it feels like they project an idea of who they think you are onto you, and they think you're someone else completely, and they don't actually want to know the real you or like want to actually fully like be with you and love you in that way, like that's authentic or something.
So when you say project an idea of who you are,
it's like they'll have an idea of what they want and they expect you to like fit into that or something.
Yeah. But isn't that what going on dates is for? So maybe they get past that and into the
but like as in I feel like I haven't met someone who actually gets past that. Like,
do you mean how do you mean they pedestalize you or something, or they
not necessarily pedestalize, but like as in they get a certain idea of the type of person you are, and then they just like stick with that rather than trying to actually get to know you. Or then it's
so what kind of person do they think you are?
Well, like say, I don't know.
No drinking on the podcast, please. Sorry, go on.
Like with the last guy I was kind of seeing, like there's this whole trope within movies, like the manic pixie dream girl, and I could fully like I know that's what he was doing with me, and I was like, he's manic pixie dream girling me. Like,
do you know what that means, Daniel? I have no idea now.
Yeah, like a kind of style of clothing, and you know how they act in like a kind of quirky way.
So what are the things that you would do with a manic pixie dream girl?
So usually like the trope in a film or something, like it's seen in like 500 Days of Summer, or
Zooey Deschanel.
So it's kind of this like quirky type of girl that's like very aloof, and like the guy's like pining over her, and then usually like the girl kind of like seems like she doesn't understand why they're pining over her, or they have some like, or like 500 Days of Summer, they're a bit like wacky or whatever.
Yeah.
And then how that character, like what their role in the movie, like in the storytelling of it all, is like they just function to like teach the man something.
Oh, very good.
But then you don't actually know the depth of their character, just the man's perception of them. Like say with like 500 Days of Summer, he had this whole idea of who she was, and a lot of people who would watch it be like, oh yeah, like they'd relate to that, but as in no one understood her perception of it at all. Well, she was just a device to like for his story.
Oh, okay. Are you scared to show a guy who you are or whatever, or you think? For
sure, I think I do play into it a little bit sometimes.
Or do you think that you do, but they don't listen?
I think I would play into it, but then my issue is a lot of the time when say like men might view you that way, they like, I don't know, I keep having these like things guys where they like turn me into their therapist or something. And I'm like, I'm not your fucking mother. Like,
what do you mean by that? That's so you mean guy? So you're talking about, well, young guys your age wouldn't be as emotionally smart.
No, they have an idea that I formed when I was like 12 years old, like about their emotions. They'll be like, oh my god, and I was like, I've been thinking that way since I was 12. Like,
okay, huh?
As in, like, in terms of, like, emotional intelligence, I feel like a lot of guys my age will be like, whoa, I just realised you have to be nice to people. And it's like, I knew that since I was 12.
I gotcha. Yeah. So is it, are you surprised by how kind of dumb guys are emotionally?
Well, the thing is, it's frustrating because it's like, you think that they're emotionally tapped on or, like, tuned in or whatever. And so then you're kind of like, okay. And then you realise they're not.
Right.
Yeah. Like they it's almost like because of my generation, like being so like that being such a like a predominant thing in the sense of like everyone's like aware of their mental health now, and they're like trying to like be well versed in that. But it's like they're still catching up in this of the actual like emotional intelligence side that like I guess women have. Like, not to like make it about gender, but like with gender roles, women have had to take on like caretaking responsibilities.
So that's so funny, Sadhbh. So that guys you think use you as a therapist, you know, that's funny. So you'd be quite smart and you'd be saying stuff, and then they'd. But is that not them kind of just wanting to talk about themselves?
No, like I'm not there to fix. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like you have a therapist, go to your fucking therapist. Like I'm not a professional. Like.
Okay, so Daniel, how long have we been broadcasting?
41 minutes.
Oh, it's gone by very quickly,
Yes.
Sadhbh. It feels
My
longer.
weed still hasn't come within that time. What the hell?
Can we say that? Yeah, we can't because everybody. It's
Say
fine.
what?
That we talked about that before, didn't we, Daniel?
I
About
think we did, yeah.
being WhatsApp and ordering weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a date on seeking arrangements. What's the first meeting like with this? What was the age difference?
He was like in his 50s. He could have lied about his age though.
Okay, so yeah, right. And so you meet where?
we met at like a cafe.
And so what's it?
45-minute coffee date, €700. Cha-ching.
That's fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
What?
He bankrolled like my
I
whole
want €700.
Ibiza holiday last year. Like, honestly, like,
I would put my hand down a man's pants.
ew.
For $7.
The thing is, I didn't do anything with him. I didn't even kiss him.
Speaking of penises and that, I was having a piss in the public toilet. Where was it? It doesn't matter. Pub. And you know, you're having a piss, and then there's a guy standing next to you. All right, what, mate? You know what I mean? Don't talk to me while I'm pissing.
No, I think men actually are trying to impress other men more than they're trying to impress women.
In what regard?
In everything.
Okay. Well, yeah. But so €700. So what was the conversation like?
I literally going into it, I was like, I was treating it as if I was doing like an acting job or something. I was like, okay, this is my role. This is the role I'm playing. Like ditzy, like, oh my God, wow, yeah. Because I'm like, well, that I was just like playing into the stereotype of like. Oh, what I expected.
And how was he? Oh, what? Go on.
Like, as in, like some like young ditzy girl, like who's just gonna be like so impressed.
God
by
forgive
everything.
me, but I do. Oh yes, we are.
Yeah.
Go on. So let's recreate a little bit of the thing here. So you
I
play.
don't remember
Come
now,
on, yeah, but you can play a ditzy. Like what I'm expecting and what I want from a girl. Hello.
I can't do it with you though.
Wait a sec. Yeah. Hello. Would you like coffee? I don't have to put on a voice. I'm just being myself.
Like, oh yeah, thank you. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you like films?
Oh look, I can't do it with you though, because like I.
Okay, I'll do you and you do him. Hi.
Do you like film?
But no, I do know what you mean. No,
actress.
we love kind of. Well, I mean, I remember when I lived in Tokyo. But €700. Anyway, go on. What were you saying about movies, Daniel?
Oh yeah. Like in theaters now, coming this summer, every film you can possibly imagine. You know, Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, Happy Gilmore 2.
Amazing.
Freaky Friday.
So it's all reboots of movies that were very successful.
Yeah.
Well, for decades, right?
Yeah.
So it just shows you the studios are so paranoid about losing money, so they're only going to invest in movies that have had a track record of doing well. So culturally, it's not that great. But I guess, you know, if you're putting hundreds of millions into a film, you want to get your money back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but
Happy Gilmore 2, Superman, fucking Jurassic Park. How many versions of Jurassic Park? What is Jurassic Park? It'll be just like, we're going into the forest. No, don't go in. It's probably dangerous. Now, Jenny, you stay there. And then Jenny, what are you doing here, Jenny?
Where are they all just reboots?
Yeah.
I thought they were just like playing the same movie in the theaters.
And no, they're reboots.
Yeah.
What's a good movie?
A reboot or what?
Like what
maybe
film
in
have you
general.
seen recently that you like?
What have I seen recently? Oh, that was good. Heretic.
Oh
Or
yeah,
Heretic. How do you say it?
Heretic.
That was good. See, I used to watch a lot of horrors and then I kind of stopped, but that was a good one. I like that. I like those like weird like A24 type movies. I'm just so quirky.
Good film that you've seen, Daniel?
Recently, well, I've been watching more series recently. But,
Yeah.
was watching Andor, the Star Wars series. That was good.
You wouldn't be into science fiction, would you?
I've never seen Star Wars, but I did watch a couple of episodes of Doctor Who.
Did you?
The Angel one. Because I used to get really paranoid that statues were going to come to life and kill me when I was a kid because of that.
Why have you suddenly turned into a mouse?
It's ASMR.
What is ASMR?
You know, like noises.
I
That
find
are pleasing to the
I
ear.
find that very annoying when people whisper.
My noodles. I don't know. It's very like people like
It's funny, you know,
whisper.
when I was going out with this girl, she used to whisper. You know, she'd answer the door and she'd go, "Okay, yeah," and I'm going, "Why are you whispering?" Shh, shh. And then she'd get me to whisper, and it was just very controlling.
Why are you screaming?
Why are you
I think I
screaming?
forgot my keys actually.
You forgot your keys?
Should I?
Huh?
Don't think anyone's at home.
Well, you haven't forgotten your keys. You haven't forgotten your keys. So, Daniel, what else is happening? We have a new pope. What haven't we talked about? We're going to finish up pretty soon. What haven't we talked about?
I don't know.
Any newsworthiness? Would you go on a seeking arrangements website, Daniel, if older women wanted to take you out?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you?
I'd rather meet someone my age, like, you know, and have a real relationship, like.
Ooh. Yeah, but I'm talking about earning money.
Yeah, but I don't know. That just.
If somebody willing to have a lunch with you for €1,000.
Yeah, would I sell out? I don't know.
but if it's just conversational.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Would you not do an OnlyFans?
No, it wouldn't be.
Yes, Daniel, start the only.
It wouldn't be my.
So, what's the film with Jessica Chastain?
Oh yeah, it's called Grandma's House. I think it's a horror
Oh yeah.
film. But yeah, there was so much coordination going on in the scenes. Like there was so many kids involved and like adults. Like there was hundreds of people there. So like.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I wonder. I'm kind of interested to see how the final product will look.
It's amazing when you're at
And
Jessica.
there's like stunt people as well.
Yeah,
and, like, all that kind of
those
stuff.
crews, you know, when you're on a big set, it's like a little village that's happening. It's really quite amazing.
Well, was it filmed here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Jessica Chastain, you know, she's got a team of people around her, like her assistant or this or that, you know, her makeup person, stand-ins. You know, it's just lovely to be sort of looked after like that.
Yeah.
To have millions and millions of dollars, buy a nice apartment somewhere.
What did you do a movie with her on?
It was called The Forgiven, and it was with Rafe Fiennes, who's an amazing actor. And I saw when I walked into the hotel and I saw Rafe Fiennes sitting on his own eating dinner, and I was just going, and I kind of go like that, because he's got such a presence. His face, he's such a dude.
I don't know who that is.
Lord Voldemort.
Oh, yeah.
Voldemort. He was also in Schindler's List.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, don't see it. It's really horrible.
Is that a movie or?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about
it's-
a guy called Oskar Schindler who saved the lives of over 800 Jewish people during the Holocaust.
Oh,
Yeah,
Light Watch.
Yeah.
it's a light watch. Yeah,
It's
no,
like
it's,
when I was like watching Full Metal Jacket to go to sleep, and I was like, oh, never mind.
what are you studying in uni?
Philosophy, politics, and economics.
Right.
Oh, I'm falling down here.
Who's your favorite French? What's the name of French philosopher?
Pass. Oh, who is it? Descartes? Is he?
Yeah. No, there's a French philosopher.
I'm so bad with names.
Who's the deconstructionist guy? There's some famous deconstructionist. Anyway, I can't remember his fucking name,
asking the
but the
wrong
point is,
person.
like, he just deconstructs everything in words, and you know, so you.
Yeah, but that's like every philosopher.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's quite exhausting, isn't it?
Honestly, it's like the intricacies of philosophy. Like you think philosophy is just going to be like moral philosophy, and then it's like, oh no, it's about the intricacies of like a specific word.
Right.
And I'm like, why do I need to know? Why?
No, but what is that about? An intricacy of a specific word?
Because each philosopher has like different meanings of different words, basically.
So it's kind of philosophy is like, what the fuck are we talking about, and what is it about the thing that we think we're talking about? That
it's just a lot of thinking about things, like, but in like very niche ways. It's not just like a playbook for like how to live life, which is what I kind of thought it was going to be, but.
So it just leaves you kind of just more open-ended than you started. Like it's just more questions at the end of the whole thing.
Kind of. Like like you kind of...
What's the big... Was there any epiphany? Was there any moment where the penny dropped around anything you were studying? Could you share it with an eager audience?
In philosophy?
Yeah.
Not so much. I haven't really done a lot of philosophy modules lately, so I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. I feel like I do need to like learn a bit more on it. Now I'm trying to remember who the French one that your one was like married to.
Oh, Sartre.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And Simone de Beauvoir.
Yeah. No, I like Simone de Beauvoir. So I liked...
Simone de Beauvoir.
I thought it was de Beauvoir.
Or de Beauvoir.
De Beauvoir. I really like the feminist philosophies.
Oh, yeah?
Obviously. So I do like Simone de Beauvoir or de Beauvoir.
Oh, I think since the last podcast, Kanye West did a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Have you heard the film? Have you heard the song, Daniel?
Yeah, I heard the song. Yeah.
What is this?
Where he goes Heil Hitler in the middle of the song.
Yeah. Should I put the clip on?
No, you better not. It'll be demonetized.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but
he says the N word and then he says Heil Hitler.
Right, so he's just trying to piss people off. He doesn't. But the problem,
the way like conversations, every conversation eventually leads to Hitler or the Nazi Germany. Right. So that's probably his musical evolution. Like that's where it was always going to go. Like, you know. But
he doesn't want to. He doesn't stand for the. I mean, these don't. It doesn't represent.
I don't know what he stands for.
Oh right.
Like he had like some like merch that was like some.
Oh, with the
Nazi
swastika.
I don't even know if it was the swastika or if it was something else.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the story with that guy, to be honest. Like, when someone's like doing some crazy ass shit like that, like I'm like, no, none of my business.
Yeah.
You do that. I don't want.
But you love the far right, don't you, Sadhbh?
Yeah. I actually love that so much.
But no, listen. And as far as doing what you're doing study-wise, don't you want to do? Do you think you've picked the right? Do you know what your career? What am I laughing
I thought
at?
you were going to say, don't you want to graduate?
Don't you want to graduate?
I have no idea what I want to do. Does anyone though?
Yeah.
Like, I literally like my pose is I want to just do a load of side quests. And eventually just like I just want to have fun. Like I want to become a mime, maybe like a jester.
Side quests.
Do all the side quests first, and then go into the main
become
story.
a psychotherapist.
And okay, so are there people your age who do know what they want to do?
Well, like there are, like I do have friends who are like working corporate jobs and stuff now, and it's like very like that sounds like a nightmare to me. But then at the same time, I'm like I haven't actually experienced it, so like who am I to say that that's a nightmare?
But also, there's certain people they're just 55. Already, you remember when I was growing up, there were certain kids that just they could you knew they had this vibe about them that they just couldn't wait to be in their 50s or something. They were just.
I can't wait to be 30 because I feel like 20s are like. I'm enjoying it now, but for a while I
can't wait to be 30.
Yeah, because I feel like your 20s is all about being lost, and I don't want to be lost anymore. I'm like, that's the whole ball.
Well, can I just say, okay, this is a good way to finish up. Anybody in their 20s. I know what you mean, but like, I don't know. How do you say to somebody in their 20s, just embrace it's not lostness. It's just like you say, side quests. You just go up that path.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm trying to embrace it, but it's like then you
what's
have
your big worry around the feeling of being lost or not having a definite goal or a path to pursue? What's your worry about that? Do you feel you don't fit in? People are judging?
Not necessarily that I don't fit in, because it's like I don't mind not fitting in. Like that's kind of like the whole thing.
So why do you say you want to be in your 30s?
Because it's more like for your own mind to feel like secure. Like to feel like you're
But
on
you-
the right
but you-
path.
but
Like,
you just
whereas
said-
I'm like trying to find the path.
Yeah, but you said that you've seen some people and they look like they found the right path, and that seems like a nightmare. But it's that particular path.
It's not. Yeah, it's that particular path. It's
Yeah.
not that I don't know if like no one actually knows what they're doing. Like who knows if they are on the right path? I don't know if anyone would even say that themselves. But like it's more that it's like your own mindset. Like you feel like you're more secure in yourself. Like I want my frontal lobe to be fully developed. That's all.
Yeah. On that bombshell, Sadhbh, can I just say on behalf of Daniel, thank you so much for stepping in at such short notice. Fantastic. I don't know, can we call you? Well, you were. I was gonna. Sidekick.
This is my podcast.
This is your podcast now. Thank you so much, Sadhbh, and continued success on the path that you were on,
you.
even though you're not sure what that path is. But you're definitely walking on some surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I exist.
You do exist. Thank you, Prince Daniel, the future